In the year 2000, if you used a computer, you used Intel. They held an absolute monopoly over global computing hardware. But empires crack. As the world shifted toward mobile devices, Intel struggled to adapt its high-power architecture for the efficiency-first requirements of smartphones, ceding the entire market to ARM-based designs. Then came the manufacturing slide. For decades, Intel's edge was its ability to make the smallest, most advanced chips on Earth. But Taiwan's TSMC caught up, and then blew past them in pure fabrication capability. This chart shows Intel's market share crossing paths with NVIDIA and TSMC. When the generative AI boom arrived, Intel lacked the heavy-duty GPUs required to run massive artificial intelligence computations. NVIDIA claimed that new territory almost overnight. Beyond the immediate financial losses, the company faced a strategic erasure from the massive infrastructure build-out required for modern artificial intelligence. The company's attempt to build out its own foundry business, manufacturing chips for outside clients, became a financial sinkhole, racking up over $10 billion in losses in a single year. Their core manufacturing technology started hitting roadblocks. Development of their next-generation 14A node faced delays, and potential anchor clients like NVIDIA actually paused testing on Intel's highly anticipated 18A process due to low manufacturing yields. With the trajectory pointing downward, the board panicked. CEO Pat Gelsinger was pushed into an abrupt retirement. The new CEO, Chen Luo, stepped in to face a brutal reality. To keep the company solvent, he was forced to sell off older manufacturing equipment at a massive loss just to patch their balance sheet. For the first time in decades, the long-term viability of Intel as an integrated manufacturer was no longer a certainty. Technology is deeply tied to global politics. And right as the company hit rock bottom, the political winds shifted in Intel's favor. President Donald Trump announced a sweeping series of tariffs targeting foreign-made semiconductors, putting immense financial pressure directly on TSMC's operations in Taiwan. The immediate push to relocate critical tech supply chains to the United States altered the financial calculus. Intel's struggling domestic foundries transformed from massive financial liabilities into vital national security assets. This wave of protectionism threw Intel an artificial lifeline, shielding the company while it tried to fix its own internal failures. Political goodwill doesn't pay for multi-billion-dollar fabrication plants. Intel needed raw capital, and they had to make deals with fierce competitors to get it. In a stunning move, NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang, the executive who had eaten Intel's lunch in the AI space, threw them a $5 billion investment to co-develop future hardware. Next, Intel secured an unexpected alliance with Elon Musk, agreeing to help build a massive new chip production facility in Texas, known as Terafab, to supply Tesla and SpaceX. Intel swallowed its pride. They realized the only path to survival was to harness the wealth and momentum of the exact companies that had nearly driven them to extinction. The AI market is shifting. Early AI required massive power to train models, but now the industry is moving towards inference. Inference tasks don't always need brute force GPUs. They often run more efficiently on standard CPUs, the exact chips Intel built its legacy on. Intel aggressively pushed their new 18A manufacturing node to produce the Panther Lake processor. They also announced Crescent Island, a new chip designed specifically to deliver the energy efficiency required for widespread inference applications. The strategy was simple. They didn't need to win the initial AI training war against NVIDIA. They just needed to capture the much larger, highly lucrative second phase of the AI lifecycle. Going into the late-year earnings calls, Wall Street was bracing for a disaster. Analysts expected the bleeding to continue unchecked. Instead, Intel delivered a surprise. A massive surge in demand for server and PC processor upgrades blew past market predictions. This chart tracks Intel's valuation. Following that earnings report, the stock shot up 24% in a single day, breaking through the $350 billion threshold for the first time since the dot-com era. Against overwhelming historical odds and intense market skepticism, the fallen titan proved it still had a pulse. Recovering from a financial low point is not the same as winning the market. Intel still has to prove that its highly touted 18A manufacturing process can operate at scale, achieving high production yields without faltering under the demands of massive clients. Beyond that, they have to out-innovate TSMC's upcoming 2-nanometer chips and hold off NVIDIA as it continuously expands its reach inside global data centers. Geopolitics, strategic alliances, and a perfectly timed shift in the AI market have given Intel a lifeline. They haven't secured a victory yet, but they have bought themselves a sequel and a fighting chance to reclaim the throne.